Sound of wind rustling through pine trees, a faint, unsettling whisper ever hear of a town so cut off from the world it creates its own monsters. Welcome to Whispering Pines, a place surrounded by ancient, towering forests and built on the sweat and sawdust of an old logging mill. For generations, they've passed down a local legend, a ghost story to scare the kids. They call him the Wandering Woodsman. But what happens when the ghost story starts to feel real? It started with a disappearance. A young man, gone without a trace. His car was found abandoned on a lonely road bordering the forest. The only sound was the wind. Then, a few nights later, a terrified scream pierced the quiet of the town. People started seeing things. A dark figure, a fleeting shadow at the edge of their vision, always holding what looked like an axe. Fear, real, tangible fear, began to choke Whispering Pines. That's when we were called in. I'm Special Agent Anna O'Reilly, an FBI profiler. My job is to get inside the heads of killers, to understand their patterns. But this wasn't any pattern I'd ever seen. The local coroner was baffled. Our first victim, the one who screamed, he was found with these strange, scorch marks on his body. The burn was from the inside out. All over town, bizarre symbols started appearing, carved into trees and doors. It felt less like a crime spree and more like a ritual. We dug into the local history, talking to an old historian who knew all the town's secrets. He told us the legend wasn't just a story. The Wandering Woodsman, Silas, was a real logger from a century ago, accused of practicing dark rituals in the woods. The legend said he sought to extract energy from places of great fear, creating a nexus to make himself stronger. Suddenly, the random incidents didn't seem so random. I took a map of the town and marked the locations of the disappearance, the scream, the sightings. It wasn't a random scatter. It was a pattern, a massive, ritualistic symbol spread across the entire town, with one place right at its heart, the abandoned sawmill. We knew we had to confront whatever was there. As my team stormed the decaying sawmill, the air grew thick, heavy with dread, and there he was, a hulking figure, silhouetted against a dusty window, holding a heavy woodsman's axe. This wasn't a ghost, this was a man, continuing Silas's dark work. The symbols he'd carved around town weren't just vandalism. They were channeling the fear of the entire community into this one spot to fuel a final, terrifying ritual. The fight was brutal. He wasn't just a man. He was powered by the collective terror he'd created. But we weren't just fighting him. We were fighting the fear itself. As my team fought him hand to hand, I knew we couldn't just capture him. We had to break the ritual. I started destroying the symbols painted all over the mill. With each symbol I shattered, he seemed to weaken, to shrink. We finally subdued him, but as we cuffed him, he leaned in close to me, and with a chilling, raspy voice, he whispered, "You can't imprison the evil in the trees. You've only captured its vessel." Sound of a faint, lingering whisper, then silence.